just came across the wire. It is unbelievable. And it's when people say read the room, people need to read the room. Well, anyway, just hot off the wire, President Biden has released $6 billion in a prison swap with Iran, the frozen funds for the release of 5 American citizens that are detained in Iran. And first of all, I want to say, read the room. Why would you do this on 9/11? I am baffled why this was done on 9/11. So everybody, let's get into it. It just came across about not even 30 minutes ago. The Biden administration has cleared the way to release 5 American citizens detained in Iran by issuing a blanket waiver for international banks to transfer $6 billion in frozen Iran money from South Korea to Qatar without fear of U.S. sanctions. In addition, as part of the deal, the administration has agreed to release 5 Iranian citizens held in the United States. Okay, so let me get this straight. You all help me because, you know, not only are the last swap, it was a basketball player for the Merchant of Death. And now it's 5 American citizens plus $6 billion. And we're going to give them back 5 Iranian citizens. Okay. Somebody help me. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken signed off on the sanction waivers late last week, a month after U.S. and Iranian officials said an agreement in principle was in place. Congress was not informed of the waiver decision until Monday. So technically, nobody knew about this until Monday, according to notifications, which was obtained by the Associated Press. And this is one of the problems that we have with employees making decisions for American citizens that are not elected. But anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm just a little, baffled here. The outlines of the deal had been previously announced and a waiver was expected. But the notifications marked the first time the administration said it was releasing 5 Iranian prisoners as part of the deal. The prisoners have not been named. The waiver drew criticism of President Joe Biden from Republicans and others who said the deal will boost the Iranian economy at a time when Iran poses a growing threat to U.S. troops and Mid-East allies. On X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa said it's ridiculous for the U.S. to be blackmailed into paying $6 billion for hostages, which will help indirectly finance the number one foreign policy of Iran, terrorism. They'd be monitoring these streets, so I have to say it off. Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas accused Biden of paying ransom to the world's most state sponsor of blah, blah, blah. The waiver means that European, Middle Eastern, and Asian banks will not run afoul of U.S. sanctions in converting the money frozen in South Korea and transferring it to Qatar Central Bank, where it will be held for Iran to use for the purchase of humanitarian goods. The transfer of $6 billion was the critical element in the prisoner release deal. which saw 4 of 5 Americans detainees transferred from Iranian jails into house arrest last month. The 5th detainee have already been under house arrest due to numerous U.S. sanctions on foreign banks that engage in transactions aimed at the benefiting Iran. Several European countries had barked at the participating in the transfer. Blinken waiver is aimed at easing these concerns about any risk of U.S. sanctions. I, I have to stop here because I am in total awe of them transferring $6 billion, and they're going to give back 5 Iranian prisoners that they have not named in exchange for 5 American prisoners. Woo! I cannot. So it's worth, you know, I cannot. People familiar with the negotiations said they expected the detainees will be released as early as next week. The American prisoners included Shamik Namazar, who was detained in 2015 and was later sentenced to 10 years in prison on internationally criticized spying charges. Imad Shariha, a venture capitalist, sentenced to 10 years. Morad Tabaz, a British American conservatives of Iranian descent who was arrested in 2018 and also received 10 years sentence. The 4th and the 5th prisoners were not identified. Okay. Woo, Lord have mercy. To facilitate their release, the United States has committed to release 5 Iranian nationals currently under the United States and permitted the transfer of approximately $6 billion in restricted Iranian funds held in South Korea to restricted accounts in Qatar, where the funds will be available only for humanitarian trade. Blinken wrote, yeah, right. Y'all believe that? Do you believe that Iran is going to use the $6 billion only in humanitarian aid? I'm asking for a friend. The sanctions waiver applies to banks and other financial institutions in South Korea, Germany, Ireland, Qatar, and Switzerland. I determined that it is in the national security interest of the United States to waive the imposition of sanctions with respect to foreign financial institutions under the primary jurisdiction of Germany, Ireland, Qatar, the Republic of Korea, and Switzerland that are notified directly in writing by the U.S. government that to the extent necessary for such institutions to engage in transactions occurring on or after August 9th, 2023, Blinken wrote. Sanction waivers apply to transactions involving previously penalized entities such as the National Iranian Oil Company, the Central Bank of Iran, to transfer funds from accounts in the Republic of Korea to accounts in Switzerland and Germany, and from accounts to Switzerland and Germany to accounts in Qatar, and to be transferred and to transfer the funds further humanitarian transaction according with written guidance of the United States government, he wrote. Okay. I just want to know exactly how you all feel about this. This is the um 22nd year of 9/11. Thousands of people lost their lives on 9/11. Congress had no idea of this. This was a decision by the Biden administration and an unelected official, Blinken, to release $6 billion to Iran. And Congress was notified on 9/11. I'm just saying. I am just saying. So you all tell me what's your thoughts on, that. And it's just a mess. It's so much stuff has been going on that, whenever stuff come across, it's like, wow, you know. I'm going to put this in even though I read this article, I always like to put it in the comment section for you all to get an opportunity to go back after this video is over. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Once the video is over, go and look at the article for yourself, see what you're talking about, and form your opinion. I've given my opinion. I'm just shocked and appalled. And $6 billion for 5 prisoners, plus you're going to give them back 5 prisoners that you hold. I don't know who, who's this who's doing the negotiation. Blinken. He needs, this is, we have become a country where we pay. It's advantageous of countries to put our citizens in jail over there wherever they are, because if Biden is in office, they know that they're going to cave. Like I said, there was a basketball player traded for the Merchant of Death. I mean, you can't make this up. You really can't make this up. You cannot make this up.